Hello, and welcome to Wonderful Game The Last of Us. This is going to be kind of different from the other ones because I'm still not sure how I want this Wonderful Games things to work. I don't want it to be a review, I just want it to be opinion on a game or parts of games. And that's what this is going to be. This isn't going to be a review for The Last of Us, this is just going to be talking about the end. So be warned, there will be spoilers. Just if you want an overall thing of it, I love the game. I'm not going to say specifically if it's the story, the gameplay is great. The story's amazing. It's just on my Bioshock Infinite playthrough, I recorded that straight after I finished one playthrough, and then going through it again, I realised the gameplay wasn't great. So I'm going through The Last of Us a second time to see if it's only the story holding it up. I'm not sure. So I might make another video doing that, but this is not what that is. This is about the end, so warning, spoilers, so leave. Don't watch this if you haven't played or seen the end. This whole idea for this video has come from two different people's comments. The first person is someone on Forbes, a woman named Carol Pintz. I'll link the article, and she was talking about the reason she gave it an 8 out of 10. I hate scores on reviews anyway, but I just watched it because everyone else is giving them high marks, and I want to know why she didn't. And her opinion was as the climax of the end of the game, the hospital stuff in Salt Lake City or wherever it is, she didn't like. So I won't go into that, I'll just give you my opinion right now. I'm going to start before that level, when you first arrive in Salt Lake City, and I was just destroyed. After the thing that happened before that, I don't know why I'm being coy about it, but the horrific stuff that happens before, I was drained, I didn't want to fight anymore. The beginning of that level, when you're just walking through it with the giraffes and you have time to reflect, and I was thinking of all the people who I'd forgotten about who had been through the game with me, or the other characters, not because they were bad characters, just because I played it in one playthrough and it felt like a massive adventure and I didn't have time to worry about these characters. I had to do what I had to do, and I just felt drained. And then you get to the fight that feels like you have to overcome some big feat, even though it really is just a normal group, but just everything you've been through wears you down. And then you finally get through that and you make it to the hospital, and it's great. I've got here, and then you're told the horrible news that if you want to create the vaccine and they want to extract it and do experiments, they're going to have to kill. Ellie's going to die in the process. And I knew there wasn't choices in this game. I was prepared for that. I knew that wasn't happening, but I still had the thoughts in my head of, straight away, got to save her. There's no other way about it. You got to kill everyone, save her. But then the second thought is, well, if I do that, the vaccine won't be created. No one's going to be saved. But then this game had shown me something, that humans suck. As soon as it starts, the military guy killing your kid, or even in this time, you meet the hunters, you meet cannibals, you meet just horrific people who I was thinking, does Ellie deserve to die to save those people? No, she doesn't. And only the good people we've met are fucking fine. Bill, I think that's his name, has that town he's set up, he's defended. His brother has the town that's all clean energy and self-sufficient. They're fine. So why should I let Ellie die to save them? I shouldn't. I don't want her to die. And Marlene, I was thinking, I've only known Ellie for a short time. She's known her since she's been born, and I already think Ellie's the coolest kid in the world. So why exactly is she prepared to let her die? But, you know, as it goes on, you see she isn't exactly okay with it. What helped me get through that, I guess. Then you do all the fighting and you kill a lot of people who aren't really evil, but, you know, there. And then you get to the room, the surgery room, and I opened the door, the guy pulled the scalpel on, the first thing I did, reactive, I don't know if it's the action hero in me, I shot him in the head. And I looked around the room, and there was the cowering nurse and the other doctor cowering, and I was like, jeez, what has this game made me? Because I know Joel would be fine with this, because he's had conversations with his brothers where he's prepared to do anything to help make sure they survive. But me personally, this game had got me to the point where I was prepared to shoot a doctor in the face to save this girl. A doctor was probably a rarity in this timeline at this whole time, but I was prepared to walk in there and gun a doctor down. And then you get her out of there, and Marlene tells you she would want this, and I was thinking, no, she fucking wouldn't, because I've played this game, and in a conversation with Ellie, she says, when you see a corpse, and asks, hey, how, why is this guy dead? And Joel goes that it was mostly military killing them, because he could have been infected and they can't turn infected if they're dead. And he says they thought to kill a few to save many. And Ellie goes, That's messed up. And Joel goes, yeah. So Ellie is not okay with killing one to save many. It might be a different thing because she could save the world, but from conversations with her through the game, she had pretty much told me she's not okay with sacrificing a few to save many. I don't know if she would feel the same about herself. But in this woman's article, she said that climax, she walked in the room and she was prepared to let Ellie die. Which is a big thing about the game. It's your opinions, your morals. Would you be okay with that? I wasn't. This woman clearly was. I'm not holding that against her, but then she said she wanted a choice. She wanted to be able to leave the room, which is stupid. Because there's nowhere else in that game you were given choices. So I don't know why at the end of the game you suddenly feel you would deserve them. I would understand if you're playing The Walking Dead and you got to the end and all of a sudden all choice was taken away from you. But this game was never set up that way. So, and then she said she tried to walk around the doctor, she tried throwing things at him, and eventually shot him in the foot and he died. And she said Naughty Dog ruined the climax. I'm not going to read the thing, but I'm pretty sure. She says they ruined the climax of the game. No, you ruined the climax of the game. It's like buying an ice cream, throwing it on the floor, and then saying the person who sold it to you ruined it. You decided to shoot the person in the foot and make it look stupid. No one else did. I'm pretty sure every other comment on that thing says as soon as I went in, my parental instincts kicked in and I shot the dude in the head. It feels weird that you would mark a game down for that, and that kind of hurt me a little. And the next comment is a friend of mine who I think is kind of a fucking idiot right about now, because I was talking to him and he went, the end of Last of Us is boring. And I was thinking, you haven't played the game. He hadn't played it, he'd just watched the end on YouTube because he said he's impatient. And he said, all it is Ellie saying okay, and that's a boring end. Which I can't judge him, he had no context for any of the characters, and I don't think he'd like the game because the best bits of the game were just Ellie and Joel talking, and he didn't find that interesting. But the end of the game to me was incredible. I loved it, not incredible, that's overstating it, but it was good. It was really good. Because it wasn't a bullcrap cliffhanger with you get to where you is and your brother hasn't returned and you've got to go out and find him and it cuts or something like that. It's just this emotional And the end of the game I didn't like, but not because the game's bad, just because I was disappointed in Joel, who again isn't bad, because it's like I felt the same way. This is just a thing. Say you had a recovering alcoholic and something bad happened to him and he started drinking again. And you wouldn't feel angry at him, you'd just be disappointed that it came to that. And that's the way I felt Joel. What was incredible, because it made me feel like he was a real person. Because you can't feel angry or disappointed in a computer. He felt like a real person to me, where I could feel disappointed in his choice. And his choice was the lie, which I understand, it makes sense, it could ruin their relationship if he just came out and went, yeah, I lied and shot everyone. But it still was like, oh god. And that's the reason to come back, right? You don't need some bullcrap cliffhanger or big explosion. You just want to see the fallout from Joel's choice. And for me, I want to see these characters again. Like, Joel's an old dude. He must be in his 50s. And in that time, it's got to be a rarity, right? To have an old dude. It would be cool to see. And also, I want to see Ellie grow up to be like 18 and 20 and just grow as a person and be even cooler and more of a badass. Because my favourite parts of that game we're playing is Ellie. She was incredible to play as. And if I can get more of that, it's awesome. So his comment, his comment just annoyed me, but he had no context for these characters, which kind of hurt inside a little. But yeah, that's all I really want to talk about. This video was just pretty much my feelings on a comment on an article on a website that really doesn't matter, but it hurt me that she said that. But I get it's completely your moral outlook on life, and if you think he should have let her die or not. I killed the doctor. Even if I gave Marlene her back, no one's doing that operation well. It's fucking dead. But yeah, I think it's a great game. It's a great story. It's a great end. There's a lot of things to make you think about. I'd love to know what you thought, what way you sway in it if you've watched this. And if you've watched this and haven't played the game, like I said to my friend, you're a fucking idiot. Because unless you have no intention of ever playing the game, then sure, why the hell not? Yeah. Just one more thing before the end. The reason the footage in this video isn't of the end of the game is because I'm replaying it and on a different console than I played it on originally, because I record on a different console. I'm also playing for on hard, so it's going to take a really long time to get to the end of the game. So that's why. But I'm still liking it a lot, even though I know what's going to happen. What's a really good sign, I imagine. This also is my favourite bit of the whole game. It looks beautiful. It's when Ellie and Joel first start talking. Really, it's great. So this has been Archie. This has been The Last of Us. Thanks for watching. Bye.